Hi, this is Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com, and this is a Forex swing trading tutorial. I don't make many of these, but I need to make you aware of how powerful harmonic patterns are when looking at longer term trades with this is European, Japanese yen. It could be any Forex pair really. Some people really like to go longer term, and we're talking a year. This is European Japanese yen with a Gartley pattern completed. Now our xBratAlgo harmonic pattern indicator works everything out in the background, all those fib extensions, retracements, where labels it an A, B, C, but one of the most important things is this automated completion zone down here. Now the D pivot must complete in here for it to be a very strong signal. If it doesn't, if it goes down through or falls short, we ignore it. But if it completes in here, this zone is made up of overlaps of fib extensions and retracements from that the A move, the A to B, the B to C, the A, the B, the C. And there's lots and lots of calculation that goes on around the behind the scenes there to give you a zone where that D pivot should finish. If that does, there's a very strong possibility of the resulting bullish trade. And how do we know it's resulting bullish trade? Because it's all colored in green. If it's red, it'll be a bearish trade. And what we're looking for then is some way to enter, but we need to understand that these A and C pivots, if we're going to go long, are going to act as support and resistance. So we need to just put those on our charts and be mindful when we're putting an entry strategy together. This C pivot here does act as support and resistance, so we just need to be very mindful of this when we're putting an entry strategy together. We can't be scared of getting in this early. I mean, we can get in it late above the A pivot. We're losing a little bit of ground there, but at least that's that conservative entry. But one of the things I like to use is the bias depth heat map. The xBrat bias depth heat map looks at 6 time frames, looks up at 6 time frames, but on the heat map it goes down. So this bottom time frame here is the monthly time frame. So we need that strength in depth. So when we see that this monthly, the weekly, really strong bullish coming out of this D pivot here, and in one instance there, all 6 time frames is bullish, and this candle here, I'm going to put a vertical line in there so you can see that a little easier. So here at this point here we have all 6 time frames green. Okay, more importantly, we have the monthly, the weekly, the daily. So those higher time frames, really strong bullish here. So what we're looking for then is an entry. So we've got a couple of options here. For me, I like to go, if I'm going to do this, I've always got in mind where my stop's going to be, and my stop is going to be below that D pivot. Okay, so I'm looking for a longer term swing. That's there. If my entry needs to be above the C pivot, if I've got that confirmation, so I've got signal with that Gartley pattern completing in there, now I need confirmation. I've got that with a bias depth heat map. I'm going to put an entry in along. I know I'm going to get some resistance from that C pivot, but I've got to go, otherwise my risk to reward will be too big. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get that entry here, stop below the D pivot and let it push through. Then I'm going to use the manager to actually help me manage that trade. I may actually find that I want to get out of this if it goes against me quite quickly and not leave it to the stop. This is where the manager comes in. So the manager is this green ribbon here. It's on the swing trading setting. There's lots of different settings there, and what it does, the green ribbon here is price action. The dots above and below the candles are average volume. So if it's above the candle, it's higher than average volume. If it's below, it's lower than average volume. So it lets me look at the behavior. Remember, I need to get in. I've got signal, got confirmation, very strong. I want to be in this. So November 2020, getting in this long on European Japanese yen around about 125. Now, it does go up to test this resistance formed by the A pivot. We expect that. Nothing strange there. When it pulls back from there though, look at the candles. Lower than average volume, lower than average volume to find support at the C pivot. This is normal behavior. I'm not going to panic. It then has another go at that A pivot and pushes through. We're in the trade. We're good. One of the things we're going to do once we start to clear this A pivot is we can start to bring that stop really tight underneath this C pivot support and resistance zone on this previous one. So we're almost risk free. We entered here in November, at the end of November 2020. We're pushed through and we're probably risk free by February 21. Okay. Now, remember, this is a long-term swing. You know, the highs here were reached at 134 from 125. This is a big trade. And these do happen. And having this auto harmonic pattern indicator suite on all of your Forex charts, on all the Forex pairs, and get alerted when this D pivot completes is very, very important. Those longer term plays on Forex can be very, very lucrative. So we then use the manager to manage this trade. So we get another impulse move up, then we get a pullback, lower than average volume. Look at those dots. Okay, lower than average. Don't panic. We have the ribbon still green. We come back up again. Ribbon still green. We push higher again. We pull back. We get higher than average volume down candle here, but it's a one candle wonder. If you look back here, another one candle wonder. Okay, then we push back up again. Now this is where it gets interesting. So an aggressive exit here is where we get two candles higher than average volume. Okay, we get out on the close of that candle here. That's the what we call the aggressive exit, using that behavior, because in effect, if we've got two candles higher than average volume down candles, these red candles, the likelihood is that that bullish run is over. Okay, so we can get out there. Now if we think that might bounce back a little bit, we can wait for the ribbon to turn red. The ribbon is 4 candles in advance. The ribbon turns red here, so 1 2 3 4. That's when we get out, around about the same price actually. So all the way through, back to trade management. Once we get these lower than average volume pullbacks and it starts to move away again and breaches this pivot here, there's no harm in putting that trailing stop there to lock in profit. Okay, we get another pullback here, lower than average volume if there's no dots, starts to pull away again. Once we break that pivot, adjust the trailing stop to here. We get another one here, lower than average volume, pushes up. When that pivot goes, adjust your trailing stop again. Once we get these two candles here, we just get out. Okay, and this really, we got in here at 125. The sensible exit here was 131.98. So really, really strong swing trade on European Japanese yen. And we've used three trading indicators here. The xBratAlgo harmonic pattern indicator for the signal. We've then waited for the bias depth heat map to give us that confirmation. And then we've used the manager, which is probably one of the most important things, because you can get in any type of trading strategy on any type of signal, but managing those trades, understanding that behavior on that pullback, on this pullback, on this pullback, and not panicking, it maximizes your potential profit on these trades. Now, there wasn't another harmonic pattern, again, formed on this one. They're the ones we need to wait for, but they're the big ones that really set up our trading years. And don't forget, there's a lot of different Forex pairs out there, and you can set alerts when the pattern goes into the D pivots here. This is the TradingView version. It's available for lots of different platforms, but the main thing is I just wanted to touch base really that Forex trading just isn't on the 3 minute, the 1 minute, the 15 minute. Sometimes those swing trading opportunities on Forex pairs do present themselves, and they're the big runners that we'd like to get probably once or twice a year to really stabilize that trading account. Hopefully that helps. Speak to you all really soon.